Okay. Good evening and welcome to the December 17th business meeting of the Council of the Borough of Ringwood. This meeting is being taped right now because we had trouble with it being broadcasted, but it will be replayed on Channel 77 and YouTube throughout the week. Nicole, please read the statement of complaints.
Adequate notice of this business meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Law, PL 1975, Chapter 231, setting forth the time, date, place, and purpose of this business meeting by consent agenda resolution number 2019-11, adopted January 2nd, 2019, through a legal notice published in the Suburban Trends issue of January 13th, 2019, and through notices emailed to the following named newspapers and posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall on January 7, 2019, the Suburban Trends and the Bergen Record.
Thank you. Can we have and also present is the, can we roll call, please?
Mayor Martucci?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Here.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Here.
Davison?
Here.
Ferretti is absent. O'Keefe?
Here.
And Spear.
Here.
Also present is the Borough Manager, Director of the Department of Public Works, Scott Heck, Acting Municipal Clerk Nicole Engelmeyer, and Borough Attorney Richard J. Klimek. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are no proclamations or presentations. Can we go to the approval of the minutes?
First, we have the business meeting of October 15th, 2019. Councilman Davison was absent.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Excused.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
And Spear.
Yes.
Then we have the executive session from October 15th. Councilman Davison was absent.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Excused.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
And Spear.
Yes.
We have a special meeting from October 24th, 2019. Mayor Martucci and Councilmembers Bolton and O'Keefe were absent.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Abstain?
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Abstain.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Abstain?
And Spear.
Yes.
You don't have to carry that, right, 3 and 3?
Correct.
So those have to be carried to the next meeting.
Oh, great.
Same thing with the executive session of October 24th.
So we have business meeting from November 12th, 2019. Councilman O'Keefe was absent.
Okay, motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Abstain?
Spear.
Yes.
The executive session from November 12th. Councilman O'Keefe was absent. Motion?
So moved.
A second. Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes. I mean, abstain.
Spear.
Yes.
That's it for minutes. Now it's time for the general public portion. Please come up and would like to speak and try to keep it to 3 minutes.
Jennifer Shu, 205 Lakeview Avenue. As per the new ordinance with respect to the Green Team, I am presenting the end-of-year report for the Green Team, because as I understand it, we are supposed to report to the council. So I'll just make some brief remarks. You have the details of it. The principal goal of the Green Team for 2019 was to complete the project action plan that was specified in a grant that was awarded to the Borough of Ringwood by Sustainable Jersey. In order to achieve the goals of the project action plan, the Green Team conducted 12 activities throughout the year. We developed a plastic bag challenge, which educated the public regarding the harm caused by plastic bags, and the challenge was presented at 9 events, and we obtained 84 pledges to bring your own bag. Concurrently with the plastic bag challenge, we continued the Skip the Straw campaign, which was initiated in 2018, and we obtained an additional 33 pledges over the course of the 9 events. We also conducted an educational campaign on the value of green products, and we did that concurrently with the plastic bag and Skip the Straw challenges, so this also occurred at the 9 events. We introduced the public to a variety of green products and provided instructions regarding their use. A total of 57 people participated in the campaign, and 1 individual was selected to receive the products. As stipulated in the grant, the Green Team sponsored a photo contest which focused on the theme Keeping Ringwood Green. 31 individuals participated in the contest, and the Green Team awarded the awards at a reception at the New Ice Center on November 16th. Just in conclusion, I believe that the Green Team successfully completed the project action plan specified in the grant awarded by Sustainable New Jersey. The campaigns conducted by the Green Team engaged members of the public and made them aware of the small steps that individuals can take to preserve our natural resources and reduce harmful pollution. Thank you.
Can you do me a favor?
Thank you.
Can you email this to Nicole
Sure.
so she can distribute it to the council?
It's just copy. We'll scan it and distribute it.
Oh, but I can definitely email it. There's no problem.
Very good.
I'll be happy to do it.
Sure.
Great.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Seeing no one, move to close?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Council members Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Regarding the minutes of the meeting of the 24th, there's only 4 members of the council who were eligible to vote that attended that meeting, and I think we're losing 2 of them next year. So next year, there'll only be 2 members of the council that were present at that meeting that are still on the council. Will those 2 members be able to approve those minutes?
Mr. Klimak, this is a legal question.
No, they won't. They weren't participants.
Oh, yeah, there'll just be
That's
2
right.
participants in that there. That'll be all we have.
Yes.
Because right now, we have
So,
3 of the participants have voted to accept the minutes. 3 out of the 4 possible votes for it.
Could I have it again? Who voted in favor of the motion?
The motion, I made the motion?
Okay. so-
I seconded it. The 24th, correct?
Yes, the
And who
24th,
else
special
voted
meeting.
for it?
So Noonan, Councilman Davison, and Spear.
Okay.
You'll have a larger quorum of the group tonight than in January.
At any
Although
time-
neither one
at
of
any
them will be a
time,
quorum.
yeah.
Right. Well,
We
we'll
can never
have-
get 3 votes for it. Best we can ever do is 2.
Freddie was there.
Yes.
Could we have him call in a vote? He's home sick, but...
Well, for Fred, he'll be here next year, and who's the other?
Freddie and Spear.
Oh, no,
will
I
be
meant
back.
like tonight, not next
Yeah.
year.
Isn't there a rule of,
There is a rule of necessity, but I'm still trying to get the roll call. We'll have Mr. Spear, okay? Be here. Mr. Ferretti will be here. Mr. Bolton, you were disqualified, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Ms. O'Keefe, you were disqualified?
Correct.
Okay. So if we have 4 people this evening, how many people do we have who could vote this evening? 1, 2, 3, 4?
Three.
Right.
Okay, well, as Mr. Heck said, it's insufficient. We don't have a quorum on that particular point, as he said. But we'll have to go by the rule of necessity. As you know, the rule of necessity is where disqualified persons can't vote if you cannot have a quorum under any circumstances. Okay? So if some of you who were not here, Mr. Bolton, Ms. O'Keefe, if you read the minutes,
I went to watch the YouTube video, but I didn't see it online, but I'll read the minutes.
I read
okay,
them.
you read the
Review it.
minutes? You read the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And did you see the YouTube or?
No.
You did see the YouTube, Ms. O'Keefe?
I didn't see it online. I went to look for it. I started listening to the
How about you,
minutes.
Yeah,
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
let me
turn
give you
this
some.
off.
Yeah, plus I read it.
So you want to go back to both the
Okay, we'll
executive
have,
session?
the mayor did see the YouTube, okay? All right, so, and you reviewed the minutes, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's sufficient. If you could have a vote on it then.
So you're going to go back to the special meeting, you can do them both in the same vote, the special meeting October 24th and the executive October 24th?
Yes.
And just change Mayor Martucci's to a yes.
And further, note that the mayor did review the YouTube and the minutes.
And make that count for both. Okay.
Okay. So we have no old business, we have no new business. And we go to resolutions.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2019-217, whereas the Chief Financial Officer has certified that funds are available for the payment of the current bill list in the amount of $995,337.56, supplemental payments in the amount of $5,819,331.71, and merchant services fees in the amount of $147.43, for a total of $6,814,816.70, of which Ringwood Board of Education will be receiving $1,446,869.84, Lakeland $915,041.91, and the County of Passaic $2,945,864.02.
Can I ask, Mr. Mayor, did you interrogate the bill list properly?
Yes, I did.
Very good, good to hear.
We had, there's a few larger items, some repair items, and some yearly one-time items that come due right now, but I did go over the ones that I was,
They're backloaded into the budget sometimes.
I will tell you, right to the last day, Jim Martucci has gone over the bill list in tremendous detail.
We would expect nothing less.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Second.
second. Okay.
roll call, please.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Council members Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-218, be it resolved, Municipal Council of the Borough of Ringwood hereby establishes January 1st, 2020, at 3 p.m. at the Violet E. Bogart Annex, 60 Mara King Avenue, Ringwood, New Jersey, as the date, time, and place for the purpose of the reorganization meeting. Be it further resolved, the Municipal Council authorizes the acting clerk to advertise such meeting in accordance with law.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Council members Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-219, whereas the contract was awarded to Marini Brothers Construction Company in the amount of $696,983.35 on June 18th, 2019, for the construction of the Erskine Road and Lakeview Avenue Improvement Project, Phase 1 and 2, contract number 2019-2C. And whereas the Borough Engineer has submitted a copy of the estimate number 3 prepared by Schwanweed Halls Engineering for the work performed by the Marini Brothers Construction Company from October 29th, 2019 through November 22nd, 2019, and recommends a partial payment in the amount of $114,821.11 for the work completed. Now therefore be it resolved, the municipal council of the Borough of Ringwood hereby approves this partial payment in the amount of $114,821.11 to Marine Brothers Construction of Lafayette Street, Hackensack, New Jersey, subject to the required certified payroll records and the monthly manning reports.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-220, whereas the Borough of Ringwood contracted Denville Line Painting, Inc., using the Morris County Co-op for the road striping for Westbrook Road from Stonetown Road to the bridge, and the parking lot striping of the 3 firehouses, contract 2019-11, and whereas the Borough Engineer has submitted and recommends payment in the amount of $7,218.60, invoice number R16419, and $6,608.02, invoice number R16420 for the work completed. Now therefore be it resolved, the municipal council of the Borough of Ringwood hereby approves the total payment in the amount of $13,826.62 to Denville Line Painting of Greenpound Road, Rockaway, New Jersey, subject to the required payroll records and the monthly manning report.
And this comes from the fund?
Comes from capital,
And this is the total amount?
total. We did the 3 firehouses with thermal striping instead of doing it over and over each year, which lasts quite a few years. And we also did Westbrook Road, the section that wasn't done in the new paved section that was pretty much gone from the road.
I'll move it.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-221, be it resolved that a certain interlocal agreement between the Borough of Ringwood and the Borough of Bloomingdale is hereby authorized, and be it further resolved that the said agreement concerns a certain scope of services for Snake Den Road. This agreement covers police protection, fire protection, ambulance protection, garbage and recycling, and snow removal. Be resolved that the municipal clerk and the mayor are hereby authorized to execute the said agreement. We've had this agreement for a lot of years. There's a section of Bloomingdale that they can't access from their town. It's on our side of town. It's adjacent to, over by the Weiss. By the Weiss Center. We increased it slightly this year, and there's an escalation charge in the contract for years to come. So this is just an updated agreement for that services.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-222, a resolution authorizing the execution of a shared service agreement with the Borough of Pompton Lakes for the provision of stormwater cleaning services, whereas the Borough of Ringwood has agreed to provide stormwater cleaning services to the Borough of Pompton Lakes by way of a shared service agreement as permitted by NJSA 40A:65-1. Now therefore be it resolved, Mayor and Council of the Borough of Ringwood, County of Passaic, and the State of New Jersey as follows. The Borough Manager and the Acting Borough Clerk are hereby authorized and directed to execute the attached shared service agreement with the Pompton Lakes for the provision of stormwater cleaning services for the term beginning January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020 on the terms and provisions as set forth in the agreement. A copy of the agreement shall be filed with municipal clerk and shall be open for inspection for Borough Hall upon request. The agreement shall take into effect lawful adoption of requisite resolutions and all parties thereto. A copy of the agreement shall be sent to the State of New Jersey Division of Local Government Services, Division of Community Affairs. And this resolution will take effect immediately. We do some stormwater cleaning down in Pompton Lakes. We raised it to $1,500 a day. We send our truck and a 2-person crew down there. We clean the roads. They pay for the fuel. They take any the material that we take out of the storm drains so that they can discard it. We've done it for quite a few years, and it's a way to bring revenue back into our town. And this is just an
Typically, how many days a year do they?
depends on the year. This year, I think we did 2 weeks. In the past, we've done more when they've had some flooding issues. So we also do a little bit of mapping for them while we're doing it, because they don't all of their storm drains are quite old, and they don't always know where they go. So it works out very well for us and for them.
So the vac truck's a very valuable piece of equipment.
Yes. It's probably more valuable to us, but certainly $1,500 a day to them.
With our storm drains and the sewers, how are they cleaned?
Our storm drains?
Yeah, I went for a walk the other day on Summit, and I guess it was High Point, and there's about 3 of them right there at the end, and they were all clogged with debris,
Leaves on the top.
leaves, branches. I think a tree went down in that area
Yeah,
recently.
we often clean them. We have a fairly rigorous program for cleaning the stormwater basins. The residents in the fall should get out there and kind of clean some of their basins up
This
as
is
well.
kind of in no man's land where nobody really would even see it. I mean, there's no house facing it, per se.
Okay, well, we often go out and clean a lot of the basins, but this is for the subsurface catch basins and the
Okay,
and the
so
drains.
it's
This
not the-
actually, we take the grates off and we clean the silts and the debris that's in the basins, and that's what this truck does. It routes out pipes. It's got a pressure jet vector where we blow out lines in case they get clogged and
I
whatnot.
see.
What you're talking about is like just routine surface of the
Yeah,
catch
well,
basins.
that's what goes in and ends up having to be cleaned out, right?
Yeah, a lot of the new basins, the bicycle safe grates, and our new stormwater program doesn't have as much water going in, so all that stuff doesn't get into the basins, but it sits on top of it. It blocks it. All it needs is a branch to get in there, a large bunch of leaves, and it kind of blocks the whole thing.
Yeah, especially with the ice today.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah, but a lot of people who blow their leaves out into the street and just leave them there, when we get a heavy rain, they go down, and that's exactly what you get.
Right,
So,
okay.
So we need a motion?
I'll move it.
One second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
I don't know that you want to do the next resolution.
I would be honored to do the next resolution.
We were going to hold this to the end, but I guess we should probably get it done. Resolution 2019-223. Couldn't you have made this a little shorter?
I was waiting for a big scrolling.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Whereas there exists a need? Yeah, a need, for the appointment of a municipal clerk in the Borough of Ringwood, the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey. And whereas NJSA 48:9-133 states the term of the office of municipal clerk shall be a 3-year term, and the term be deemed to have begun as the actual date upon which the person serving as a municipal clerk is appointed. And whereas Nicole Langenmeyer has successfully completed the required 5 courses offered through Rutgers, the state university, and passed the required state examination administered by the Division of Local Services, Department of Community Affairs, and has been certified as a registered municipal clerk in accordance with the requirements of Chapter 174, Law of 1985. Now therefore be it resolved, the mayor and council of the Borough of Ringwood appoint Nicole Langenmeyer to be the municipal clerk for 3-year terms in accordance with NJSA 48:9-133. Be it further resolved, a certified copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Division of Local Services, Department of Community Affairs. Nicole did these classes in record speed. Of course, she told me for the last 2 months that she was afraid she failed, she failed. I'm not sure she got 100%, but it's pretty darn close. So anyway, congratulations, Nicole.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good job.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Having served in that job for a very brief time and never want to serve in that job again, Nicole's doing a great job, and we're lucky to have her.
What's her favorite roll call she ever took?
Resolution 2019-224, be it resolved, Municipal Council of the Borough of Ringwood hereby authorizes the borough manager and the acting borough clerk, although she's actually the borough clerk, will take over
Yes.
acting, to execute the agreement for the Ringwood Board of Education to supply courtesy busing to Lakeland Regional High School at a cost of $36,591.33 to the school year of 19 and 20. And Mayor, this was done for you, because we don't usually get this early, and I know it's something that you asked me for repeatedly, but I will also note that it is at half the cost that it used to be, mainly due to your urging us to get student counts, and do we really need all these buses, and so this is on your last official evening, this is on there for you to vote on.
I'm excited. Roll call.
We need a motion.
Motion.
Would you like to move it?
I'll move it.
Second.
So Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Council members Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes. You're moving it all along, Jim.
Only right and just.
Resolution 2019-225, be resolved that the following appropriation transfers be made on the general current account on the financial records of the Borough of Ringwood. December 2019 transfers. I'm just going to read I'm not going to read the numbers. I'm just going to read the account line items. Bulk utilities OE to finance salary and wages, $9,000. Elections salary and wages to economic development, community and salary and wages, $700. Planning board OE to planning board salary and wages, $500. Group insurance OE to health insurance opt-out OE, $3,000. Building department salary and wages to police dispatch salary and wages, $24,000. Legal OE to police salary and wages, $40,000. Group health insurance OE to police salary and wages, $40,000. Buildings and grounds salary and wages to police salary and wages, $36,000. Tax assessment salary and wages to community police salary and wages, $500. Tax assessment salary and wages to police investigation salary and wages, $4,500. Public defender OE to fire inspection salary and wages, $1,000. Building and grounds salary and wages to solid waste recycling salary and wages, $22,000. Celebration of public events OE to recreation salary and wages, $4,500. Bureau of Fire Protection OE to LoSAP, $13,975, for a total of $199,675. This is not new money, this is just interdepartmental transfers, so that there's a record of how the money flowed from one line item to another line item.
What's another one of these coming up?
Yeah, usually we do them...
They sound like round numbers for the first pass.
Yeah, they are the first pass. We put a little extra in there, and you'll see them in January, you'll probably see them in February, right, Deb? So we didn't do any in November. We're trying to limit the number of transfers that we do. As you know, there was one line item in our budget, in our audit report, that talked about one of the line items being negative, even though the total budget was not, so we're making sure we left a little extra in each. Debbie made the necessary adjustments for that.
Excellent. I'll move that.
Second?
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Council members Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-226, be resolved that Chief Financial Officer is hereby authorized to close the Public Assistant Trust Fund Bank account number 615-401-804 with Lakeland Bank of Oak Ridge, New Jersey, and be it further resolved that the balance of the fund be transferred to the general current account, revenue account, miscellaneous not anticipated 90109900114. So we're just taking them, we're closing that out. It's basically inactive, and we're going to move it into the general fund.
What had it originally been for? And why don't we need that anymore?
We used to have public assistance here. We now, the county is what we use all of our public assistance for, so we no longer need this account. It's kind of been sitting active. It does not have a tremendous amount of money in it, but we do have to transfer the balance, and this represents where it's coming from and where it's going to. So it's going from this account to the miscellaneous revenues not anticipated.
I'll move that.
Second.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Council members Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Mr. Kleeman, this next resolution is relative to the EPA and the consent decree.
Yes.
Read it in its entirety, and we're ready to do this evening?
Yes, you are.
Resolution 2019...
Mr. Heck, maybe there should be an explanation either before or after. There's a lot of technical language here.
I'd be really happy for you to do that.
What it is, this goes to the Upper Ringwood case, the spill case. As you know, there's a remedy has been selected. Technically, though, when the remedy is selected and agreed upon by all the parties, the United States files a complaint in the district court. Complaint is a lawsuit. A consent order is then entered. All the parties have signed the consent order, but the United States is still reviewing comments to it because they publish the consent order, they get comments, and they want more time. Both parties want more time to answer. It's been extended twice by the district court judge. The judge may not do it a third time, so all we want, in a matter of prudence, if the judge does not extend it a third time while the United States is reviewing the comments, this will give the opportunity for the borough to file an appropriate answer to keep the matter going. Okay, it's a technical thing. This gives our special counsel the authority to file an answer in the event the judge is not granted extra extension, okay? But the United States DEP, Ford, and the borough all joined in asking for an adjournment, further adjournment of the case until all the comments can be read and digested by the Department of Justice. That's what this very technical resolution is about, okay?
Okay, Resolution 2019-227, resolution of the matter in the United States of America, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and the administrators of the New Jersey Spill Compensation Fund versus Ford Motor Company, the Borough of Ringwood, in the United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. Whereas the plaintiffs have filed a complaint in the above matter and lodged a proposed consent decree that will resolve the claims in the said complaint. And whereas the parties have agreed to extend the time to answer the complaint, as the plaintiffs are required to publish the proposed consent decree for public comment. And whereas the plaintiffs have received numerous comments and have not yet determined whether it's appropriate to seek entry into the consent decree, and whereas a request to extend the time to answer the said complaint has been made to the court, and whereas the court may not again extend the time to answer the complaint, now therefore be it resolved that in the event that the time to answer the complaint is not extended by the court, that the counsel for the Borough of Ringwood is hereby authorized to file an answer and an appropriate affirmative defenses, cross-claims, counterclaims, and third-party claims, and such other pleadings as the counsel deems, as the attorney deems appropriate.
I'll move that.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Abstain.
Spear?
Yes.
Mr. Klimik, this is probably going to require some explanation from you
Yes,
as well.
Yes, this is the Saddle Mountain LP, Limited Partnership Quarry in Stonetown. Their license expires this week. They have submitted, they timely did submit the application with a lot of documents. Our engineer has reviewed it and asked for extra documents and clarifications. They're in the process of going back and forth. So what we're requesting here, since they did put their submission in on time, and we need further clarifications, more information, to determine administratively complete. This is a resolution to extend the quarry license for 60 days while the borough gets further information and prepares for a formal hearing.
Have they agreed to provide that information, Mr. Klimik?
It's going back and forth. Some of it they they think they have provided it. Others, they're asking to what extent is it necessary, what type is required, and there's some issues as to the nature of some of it that is required. This happens quite often in applications before us, the planning board, the Board of Adjustment, till you get what you think is administratively complete, so you can have a hearing on the merits. That doesn't mean you're going to grant anything, but you have enough sufficient documents to have a hearing on the merits. Okay, I'll give you some of the things. Some of them are if I recall, I'm sorry, there's so many technical things there. For instance, elevations, are they shown at X level or Y level? It's very technical. The extent of a map, how much territory does it cover? They're very technical, geotechnical matters that the engineers are discussing.
So by not extending it, we would give them an incentive to get these paperwork to our engineers in a timelier manner, correct?
We would actually be in court
No,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
We might actually be in court tomorrow. if we
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
because
extend it.
if you don't extend the license, you'll by default, they will not have a
That's right,
quarry license.
yeah. The other councils over the years have extended these. Some of them have been extended over and over again, up to a year. But that's when hearings were being conducted. It's not unusual to extend it. This is an administrative decision till we get all the information. They did submit the bulk of it. It's being analyzed. And during the analysis period, the engineers come up with more questions, which happens all the time, too.
And our engineers requested more information and more detailed
Yes.
information. So even though they submitted it, he reviewed it and has some follow-up. So it's really our staff that is, our professionals that are asking for more detailed information. So I guess that's why you're giving them the extra 2 months to provide that stuff, review it, and come up with an answer.
But they've had a long-term relationship, right, our engineers with this quarry?
Yes.
So I would think by this time, it would be pretty much understood what's required for your license renewal?
Well, it's understood it's required. It's how the information is explained. And over the years, the quarry topography changes. See? And so you have to apply from what I'm told, different analytical techniques to it to determine whether or not we have sufficient information so the council can make a learned, informed decision about whether to extend the quarry license. So it's just a matter of getting the information. There's differences, there's engineering differences of opinion, which generally iron out. It just takes time to exchange them. For instance, some information was asked for, some extra information was requested, it was supplied, then our engineer had further questions about what was supplied. This goes on and on all the time.
And right now, does the quarry have any open complaints against it, or are there any fines or anything that haven't been resolved?
No,
Okay.
there's no fines.
I know that some of the issues were, there's different types of topography. They used to do it, they used to use aerial photography, they now use drones. There's some
Yes.
difference in elevations, quantifying what benchmarks they're using to make sure that the maps from 5 years ago, the elevations are at the same number that they're at this. So there's some very technical stuff.
Yes,
As
last-
technology has changed,
Right.
so, the engineer wants to ensure, our engineer, who does not have a good relationship with the quarry, has a relationship with us, wants to ensure that the documents that we're getting is comparable to what they've had in the past, and we can make sure that we can analyze it appropriately.
And when it comes for actual renewal, we'll have Jeff come in and...
Not Jeff, we have a
Not Jeff.
consultant for this.
Corps engineer, Sean
Oh,
is Jeff.
separate, okay.
Yeah.
So there'll be a presentation of the facts, and we'll...
There'll be a
have-
hearing, yes,
We hold here, yeah.
with notice to property owners, newspaper publication.
Okay, good. And particularly with the property owners, I think that's like my key concern, where in the past, maybe the quarry has asserted that from a dust and a noise standpoint, they've been in compliance, but that has not been the experience that residents have felt. I think that's probably my greatest concern. But as long as that's going to be a part of the actual license hearing.
That's one of the reasons it takes time, because everything that was granted in the last quarry application has to be reviewed. In other words, you don't get a carryover. If you, for instance, section 1 of the ordinance was satisfied 5 years ago, it doesn't mean it's satisfied today. So we need brand-new documentation on section 1. That's how it goes. Another thing that Mr. Heck was saying, we had an inspection issue last year, because it's periodically inspected by the engineer, the consultant engineer, and one of the issues was because they did surveying by drone as opposed to standard surveying, it changed the way information was presented, and that created another issue that had to be worked out. But technologies are changing. Both engineering groups use very sophisticated tools nowadays, and they have to resolve it among themselves.
So Resolution 2019-228, be it resolved, the Municipal Council of the Borough of Ringwood temporarily extends the quarry license for 60 days from the date of the hereof pending attorney review, and that the action be without prejudice to the right of the Borough of Ringwood, without prejudice to the rights of Saddle Mountain.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Abstain.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-229, a resolution for the renewal of membership in the Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, whereas the Borough of Ringwood, a member of Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, and whereas said renewed membership terminates on December 31st, 2019, unless earlier renewed by the agreement between the municipality and the fund, and whereas the municipality desires to renew the said membership, now therefore be it resolved as follows. The Borough of Ringwood agrees to renew the membership of the Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, and subject to the bylaws, rules, and regulations, coverage, and operation procedures thereof, as presently existing or as modified from time to time by a lawful act of the fund. The governing body shall be and hereby authorized to execute the agreement to the renewed membership annexed hereto and made part of and delivered to the same Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, evidencing the municipality's intent to renew its membership. We've had a very good, successful run with this joint insurance fund. As you know, a couple of years ago, we switched insurance companies and saved a couple $100,000 a year. They're very progressive. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of education that they provide our employees. They're very proactive about workers' comp claims and whatnot. So I think this is a great insurance company that we're part of, and I think it would be beneficial for us to renew.
Move it.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Do we occasionally shop around?
I look around, I haven't, it's a big job to shop our insurance. Our rates went down slightly this year with the fund. I'm a member of the fund because I'm the representative for the council, so I participate in some of the financial processes that we go through. I compare it to the state, both with healthcare and the state health benefit plans, and I compare this to some of the other programs. And so we haven't gone through a full-fledged shopping in a couple of years, but we will do that in the near future. It takes a full year to really get an appropriate comparison of your claims. Right to the end, Mayor, right to the end. 2019-230, be it resolved, Municipal Council of the Borough of Ringwood hereby authorizes the filing and the signature by the mayor for the 2021 Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse Aware ASAP grant, contract in the amount of $46,060 as administered by the County of Passaic.
I'll move it.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
Resolution 2019-231, this is Form 1B, whereas the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse established, established the Municipal Alliance for the Prevention of Alcoholism and Drug Abuse in 1989 to educate and engage the residents, local government and law enforcement officials, schools, nonprofits, organizations, and faith community, parents, youth, and other allies in an effort to prevent alcoholism and drug abuse in their communities throughout New Jersey. Whereas the Borough Council of the Borough of Ringwood, County of Passaic, New Jersey, recognizes that the abuse of alcohol and drugs is a serious problem in our society amongst persons of all ages, and therefore has established a municipal alliance committee. And whereas the Borough of Ringwood further recognizes that it's incumbent upon not only the public officials but the entire community to take action to prevent such abuses in our community. Whereas the Borough of Ringwood has applied for funding to the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse through the County of Passaic. Now therefore be resolved by the Borough of Ringwood, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey hereby recognizes the following. The Borough Council does hereby authorize submission of the strategic plan for the Aware ASAP Municipal Alliance Grant for period July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021 in the amount of as follows: DEDR $46,060, cash match $11,516, and in-kind $34,546.00. The Borough Council acknowledges the terms and conditions for administrating the Municipal Alliance Grant, including the administrative compliance and the audit requirements. This is the same forms that we fill out every other year, because we administer one year, Wanacue administers the next year.
I'll move it.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Is that?
No.
No, I'm good. We're getting a lot of odds and ends cleaned up for the end of the year, as you can tell. Consent agenda resolution 2019-232. Whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Ringwood has reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions. Now therefore be it resolved, the following resolutions on the consent agenda are hereby approved. 2019-232 is the approval of the consent agenda. 2019-233, professional services payment, construction, inspection, supervision, Erskine Road, Lakeview Avenue Improvement Project, phases 1 and 2, contract number 2019-2, $3,550. 2019-234, approval of payroll transfers for November 2019. 2019-235, authorized redemption of tax sales certificate. 2019-236, approval of voided checks. 2019-237, refund of overpayment property taxes various.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Who was the second? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what.
Spear.
Spear. Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Abstain?
Davison?
Yes.
Moretti? O'Keefe?
Abstain.
And Spear?
Yes.
All right, Mayor. You want me to continue just to get the manager's report done? Seems like it's my night to speak. If you want to interject here anywhere, you can. Okay. I don't have a long report tonight, but before I start my report, I want to thank the mayor and council for their support of the daily activities of this building. We do a lot here. We got a lot accomplished this year for our residents, and this could not be done without the support of the council. We look forward to accomplishing the new goals for next year. And this is the last meeting of the year, and as you're going to see in a minute, it's been a very busy year. I've tried to abbreviate some of the things that I put in the report, but it has been a very busy year. First and foremost, I want to update you on the budget. You know that the budget this year was very tight, and I want to thank the department heads this year who helped me maintain the level of service to the residents while we're living with the tighter budgets. The actual snapshot of the budget for as of 12/16 is the general current fund 2019 budget was $16,418,457.39. Paid year to date is $15,443,157.93. We've used approximately 91.6% of the budget at this point. There's obviously some bills coming in, so we did very well in terms of maintaining the budget that you folks gave us. The water fund, we also had some very real concerns this year. We made a lot of adjustments halfway through the year, which yielded some good success. The water budget is $968,360.00. Year paid to date, $872,040.16, or about 90% of the budget. We anticipated this year, we do about sales, about $1,462,000 worth of water sales. We collected $1,422,996.78. So as of right now, as of 12/16 actually, the water budget is, the water revenues are approximately $39,000 down. We attribute most of that to the fact that we had such a rainy year. So your water rate increases made up some of those differences. The budget itself is in good shape. The reality is the revenues are a little short, although our bills went out on the 10th of the month, right? And some of those revenues came in. I know today we had another couple $1,000s come in. We usually get a couple $1,000s a day, so we're going to get close to that revenue, which is good news. Because as you know, for every dollar that we don't receive in anticipated revenue this year, it gets cut from next year's budget, and we have to reduce the budget by that dollar amount. So, but I'm happy with how the water budget turned around. We made a lot of adjustments halfway through the year, and they worked out very well. As we talked about a minute ago, 2019 certainly had its weather challenges, whether between the significant amount of snow and ice storms that we had, the amount of rainstorms we had, the wind damage that we had from trees. We had some significant weather challenges in 2019. In spite of that, we completed many in-house drainage projects, and we made improvements to our streets and roads, and we did that with our very able DPW crews. I'm happy to announce that a lot of our paving was done through negotiations of the utility companies. The borough received approximately $500,000 from utility companies, which allowed us to pave the streets with little or no borough contribution. As they dug up the roads and they changed their, whether it's gas mains or it was underground electric or cable, we negotiated with them to get them to give us contributions. And then instead of having them pave half the street, Jeff and I worked on getting the entire street paved, and we were very successful at getting most of the money. We had to add a little bit here and there, but a lot of roads, you're going to hear some of the lengths in a few minutes, were all paved through those electrical contracts. We did not have a very big capital paving program this year. So as a matter of fact, we had zero. We only had what was left from last year. So the DPW installed all the drainage, fixed all the curbs, inspected and repaired the storm drain inlets, performed the miscellaneous work in the roads. We cut the trees back so we could pave. We did all of that work. The following streets were paved: Waterford Court, the entire length; Sweetwater Lane, the entire length; Copper Hill Park, the entire length; Old Forge Road, the entire length; the Fire Road between James Drive and Old Forge, the entire length; Fieldstone Drive from Stonewall Court to Old Forge, which is a very long, very wide road. All of Judith Ann, a small portion of Catherine Court and Joseph Lane, and Westbrook Road was also striped, which we talked about earlier. In addition to that, the DPW installed drainage on streets to resolve drainage problems throughout town. As you know, everywhere we go, I try to repair the roads before we pave them so that we don't have, 10 years from now, the same roads having the damage from poor drainage. The following streets were completed in 2019 by the Department of Public Works: 27 through 31 Judith Ann Drive, 28 Judith Ann Drive, 45 Judith Ann Drive, the intersection of Catherine Court and Joseph Lane, 10 through 14 Catherine Court, 22 Joseph Lane, 14 Joseph Lane, intersections of Joseph Lane and Marcia Road, 36 Judith Ann Drive, 2 Marcia Road, 47 Copper Hill Park, 6 Waterford Court, Old Forge Road, 52 through 54 Orchard Road Phase 1, 56 Pinewood Drive, 27 Ridge Place, 5 Locust Lane, Windbeam Loop. This was a total of 30 projects, which in total estimated, the engineer's estimate was $375,000. If we had a contractor do it, we did them in-house with our drainage programs. In addition, we also did snow and ice this year, which we talked about a little earlier. The DPW and the Water Department also processed 3,693 work orders, which were requested through our work order system from our residents. We already talked about striping of the lots. Erskine Road, the Million paving at Lakeview Avenue is complete. Erskine Road, Lakeview Avenue on April 3rd, 2019, we received a $400,000 grant from the New Jersey DOT Municipal Aid Program for Phase 2. Phase 1 and Phase 2 combined into one project with a total grant of $759,000, which we received from the state. So the monies that are going into that road, just like we did with Cupsaw Drive, is coming from the state of New Jersey through the grant program. As you can see in your packets, I'm happy to report that this year we received $480,000 for the DOT grant for the 2020 Municipal Aid Program for Phase 3. So we're already on their way designing that. So as of now, we've received $1,239,000 in grant monies for that project to date. We're still working to collect the last final FEMA payment. It's approximately $150,000 that they owe us from a storm 2 years ago. We work on that on a regular basis, but as you can imagine, FEMA, the paperwork is tremendous, and you submit it over and over and over again. So we will collect it, it's just a matter of time. The police department responded to more than 1,200 calls during 2019 for service, whether that's accidents, fire calls, ambulance calls, whatever the case may be, 1,200 calls. I understand they're a 24-hour day service, but 1,200 calls that they responded to. I'm also very happy to report that we received New Jersey DOT approval for the weight limit on Stonetown Road. And I see, Jamie, you're in the audience. You should be congratulated, because 2 years ago you brought this to us and fought to try to get this done, and we received approval. I'll continue to ask for a little bit of patience from the residents, because we have to introduce and pass an ordinance after January. You can't carry it from one year to the next. We couldn't start it until January, where we have that 10-ton limit. McGee Road will also be included in a Stonetown 10-ton limit, because there's no way they can get out of McGee Road as well. Of course, for all you folks that are wondering, there will be local deliveries will be permitted, but it will not be, you will not be allowed to travel through there, just like Skyline Drive. I want to remind everybody that our recycling coach is a great way to get updates and reminders on garbage and recycling schedules. You can also ask for it on your garbage recycling questions. Sign up for the app. It's on your phone. Just go to ringwoodnj.net, scroll down to news and announcements, and you'll see the link for the recycling coach. Looking to next year, 2020 will bring some challenges as the budget tightens, and we have to be reminded that North Jersey District Water Supply Commission enters the final year of the 3-year tax reduction. We're going to continue to look at the departments and see if we can streamline and enhance services where possible. The borough will continue to work to meet the COA requirements to accommodate the low and moderate housing obligation that we have, and that's going to be probably paramount in next year. There's going to be a lot of discussions about those throughout the year. And we've already begun the 2020 process, which you all know, for the budget. We're still looking for some shared services, although we believe that we're getting close to being maxed out. The good news, we also have a Moody's rating of AA+. and our outlook is rated as positive. So with all the reduction of funding we've had and some of the tax revenues we've lost through loss of tax ratables and whatnot, we've been able to steadily increase our rating, as opposed to a lot of the towns around us that have not increased the rating. So Debbie, it's a good job to get that done. We work hard to try to keep that rating, and I think we're due for a new interview again this year, right, Deb? So hopefully maybe we'll get another rate increase. The James Drive plant needs to have some modifications to address the zinc and copper permit limits under the new regulation, as well as some infiltration that needs to be addressed. The DEP inspector was here inspecting the gypsy moth damage in our area, and he's going to determine if we're going to be part of their program or not. And if we are, we'll certainly give you more information, whether we're going to spray or we're not going to spray. That's a discussion for the council to have coming up. I want to remind everybody that there's no garbage pickup on Wednesday, December 25th, and Wednesday, January 1st. Thursday, December 26th, and Thursday, January 2nd. Will be picked up days for December 25th, so they're going to pick up the next day. So so Christmas Day and New Year's Day, no garbage. They'll be picked up the following day. If you have a problem and you have not called to visit, go to our report a problem. It's on the website, or call the office and we can help you. But report a problem really is great. If you go on the website, it goes right to a work order and gets generated and closed out when it's done. All the things that we just talked about, there's a lot of people here that participated in all that. There's not one department that all of those things didn't touch. So they did a great job, and I thank you for that. And Mayor, as we get to the end, tonight is the last council meeting for yourself, Deputy Mayor Noonan, and Councilmember Davison, who I've known for many, many years. Jim, you have been steadfast in your attention to the financial details to try to deliver the best possible services at the least possible cost. As we talked about earlier, as most recently as tonight, you grilled me on many, many pages on that. So you should be commended for that. And you also were the mayor during a difficult times when we had a lot going on. So I thank you for that. Sean, you've been instrumental in assisting in many projects over the years, drainage, lake issues, providing input from the community, and we're going to miss that. And Mayor and Council Member and Deputy Mayor Davison, I've served with you in every capacity that you have in the Borough of Ringwood. You certainly have...
Was Mr. Davison the manager when you were on the council?
He was also the manager, yes.
Yeah,
He
seats.
serves in every capacity in the Borough of Ringwood, and I think it's more than 35 years. I don't have it in front of me, that you've served in one capacity or another. It's incredible, and a testament to. When you talk about a community like Ringwood, and no matter how you look at a community like Ringwood, and everybody's very passionate on one side or the other. People are passionate because they want to preserve what they perceive is the best community that North Jersey has to offer. And when you have a member that's been so involved for so many years, that's a testament to you, because the community that they're all trying to preserve and protect is the community that you built over the years. So again, you've taught me a lot over the years, and I thank you for that. And
Appreciate it.
we're gonna talk about those 39 years of selfless service at another time, and it's an incredible accomplishment and gift to the residents. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit about all these gentlemen at the January meeting, and the council would like to invite you to the January meeting for appropriate recognition. It'll be hard for the mayor to give himself an outgoing plaque. Usually you would give that to the deputy mayor, but he's also retiring. So the council has chosen to do that in January. So we invite you guys back to the January meeting to do that. And with that, Mayor, I have talked way too much tonight, so I'd just like to wish everybody a happy and healthy holiday season, happy new year, and we look forward to starting over in 2020.
Very good. Thank you. Ms. Klimek?
No report.
No report, okay. I'd like to open up the second general public portion. Anyone wants to get up and speak?
Scott Conn, the 88 Cedar Road. I'm also president of the REVOA, which is the Volunteer Officers Association, which represents our fire companies and our ambulance corps. I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for your support for our volunteers over the past year. We were able to accomplish all of our mandatory state testing, as well as upgrading a lot of our protective equipment for our members, which is greatly appreciated. One thing that I wanted to bring excuse me, to your attention, the state has purchased, I believe, 15 water tankers that are going to be stationed in various cities in the state for water emergencies. Jersey City, when they have a water main break, uses tankers from fire companies to supplement the water. So the firemen in these cities had to be trained. Our fire company in Stonetown was chosen to train the career firemen in the state due to their expertise in tankers. So that's what the volunteers were out there doing. Chief Regal and 4 of his guys went down, and it's not easy for volunteers to teach career guys, but they did it. So I look forward to a good year next year, and again, thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Paul Rubacki, 99 Edward Drive. I guess two things. First subject is, since we were talking about Stonetown Road, any consideration on the south side of Stonetown Road at Westbrook Road to reconfigure that intersection similar to what we did with Sloatsburg Road? So entering Westbrook Road, there's only one lane. I travel through there, and the people who are going, towards Ringwood Ave, if they don't have good visibility, and sometimes you're coming around that curve and somebody comes out, and I think the Sloatsburg reconfiguration has worked well, and I think maybe just basically doing the same thing on Westbrook and Stonetown Road to make it so that basically there's only one lane you can make a left turn from, increases visibility for everybody involved. So that's there. The second thing is during the election, there was the unfortunate incident where campaign signs were defaced with swastikas. And recently somebody approached me and said, there were social media posts involving swastikas, and they pointed me to two posts. One was on November 22nd. It's a picture of a Navy SEAL. His picture above it is Trump's kind of guy, and there's swastikas framing his picture. The second one was posted November 29th, and it says, 75 years ago, patriotic Americans went to France to throw out the Nazis. Next year, all you have to do is go to the polls. I think these are kind of not good. I think the second one is particularly a hate-filled statement. It's basically saying that you shouldn't like somebody because of their political persuasion, whether it's, on any space. Now, what's particularly troubling and makes these really reprehensible postings is they're by a public official. They're by Paula Tedesco, who's the head of the, made copies. Unfortunately, I couldn't make enough copies. It's term paper time. The girls used up all the ink. This is reprehensible. How can the person who's the chairperson of the stigma-free committee, who's supposed to preach tolerance and we all get along, be putting this type of drivel on their Facebook page? It's reprehensible. I mean, we can't be spreading hate. We have to. I mean, this is really wrong. I mean, I don't know, but I think if you're supposed to be spreading tolerance and you're spreading hate, you shouldn't have that position in this town anymore. I mean, that's kind of the way most towns make it. So I'll leave you with copies of that. It's still up on her Facebook page, to this date, so you can have somebody verify it, but I think the town needs to look into this because it's not what a public official in this town stands for. Thank you.
Robin Canetti, 310 Lakeview Avenue. If I understand correctly, what was posted on her personal Facebook page, you said that a few times, her Facebook page, which, far as I know, that's what the First Amendment is all about, didn't say any party. It said 75 years ago. Do we have that somewhere? They voted out.
Yeah.
Threw out the Nazis. Next year, all you have to do is go to the polls. So what she's basically saying is, if you think that there are Nazis in public office, you should throw them out. I kind of think if there are Nazis in public office, you should throw them out too. It doesn't say any political party. Anybody here voting for Nazis? It's her personal page. What are you doing spying on her personal page? Are people going to go look at your personal pages? Frankly, you guys posted some pretty offensive stuff during the campaign on Ringwood Voices Reboot, on public pages. This is a person's personal Facebook page. So anybody that's out there, apparently the thought police in Ringwood are now going to go look at your personal Facebook pages, embarrass you at a council meeting, pass information around, so stick to puppies and kittens, because people are now spying on your personal Facebook page. Shame on you. People that ran the most dishonest campaign I've seen in 50 years of politics, and you're attacking people's personal Facebook. Shame.
Anybody else on that?
Well, what about the one with the swastikas on?
I just saw it. As far as I know, Nazis are bad.
Is this
What?
is this a personnel matter? Is this something that should be in executive session?
Yeah,
There's
this
a
would need
public
to be
official. I'm not
discussed.
even sure she's a public official.
It's a volunteer. It's
Yeah,
not a public
I didn't see
official.
that.
well, if there's
I
a
mean-
title involved.
But I mean, just in terms of the rabbit hole that we're going down, I think she serves in a far less official capacity than any volunteer fire person sharing anything to their personal page. So unless we're going to be in the business of monitoring what every volunteer does in this town on social media, I frankly suggest we drop it, because this was not done on behalf of Stigma Free. It was not from the Stigma Free page. And unless we're going to start socially vetting everyone who volunteers, and that includes all of the people in all of our volunteer services, I think that's not the business that this building needs to be in. I'm sorry if some people were offended, but you take that up with the individual who posted it.
Is would calling somebody a Nazi be an attempt to stigmatize them?
You call anybody a Nazi. It's a meme. Grow up.
This is just beyond the slipperiest of slope, because this is somebody who's sharing something as an individual, and are we gonna then start to like crawl through what every individual employee or volunteer starts to share?
Mike McCracken, 80 Maple Road. I just got to say that as far as Facebook goes, there's privacy settings on them. And if you have your privacy settings to a public setting, then you're kind of open for public outcry from what you post. That's all.
Thank you.
Mayor, can you close the public portion so that, and I'll just add my 2 cents if we could. Okay.
Motion to close public.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
Yes.
I received several correspondence on a topic. I shared it with the council privately. I didn't intend to talk about this evening. I'm not going to talk about this evening. If in fact there's something that needs to be addressed, this would fall under the administration's purview. This really isn't a mayor and council item. The board that this service is under my authority. So I would suggest that either we go into executive session or you let me deal with whatever I have to deal with on my end. I don't think this is appropriate for a public discussion. That's my, Mr. Klimek, would you agree?
Well, I do agree. I don't think there should be any further discussion regarding a specific person. In fairness, unless that person was advised that there would be a public discussion regarding her. Okay, I don't, what position, that person holds a volunteer position in the borough?
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a position.
I would prefer to talk about this in-house.
Yeah. Well, I do think there should be no further public discussion regarding the matter. That you could discuss the issue as long as it doesn't relate to the individual. If you want to discuss the issue of stigma-free, we've had that discussion. The borough has a position on it. That could be discussed in general, but the specific person shouldn't be discussed. They haven't been advised.
Well, and I think one of the things, we can't do it retroactively, but if this is going to be an application of borough social media policy towards all volunteers, then they need to be advised as such. All of our rec commissioners, there's a lot of things that people say individually that offend a lot of other people, and I think if we want to make it even harder to get people to step forward to help this town, this is exactly the road we should go down. We should absolutely start to police and monitor what the people who give their time to this borough do and say.
All right, let's move on. We're gonna go to mayor and members of the council discussion. Right.
Mayor, I did pass this out to all of our council members today down at the League of Municipalities this past November. There was resolution number 2019-14. It's a resolution urging Congress to restore the full deductibility of the state and local taxes. I'm happy to say that Nikki Sherrill, the representative, is urging Congress to act on this. She is referring to it as her Christmas carol, the 12 Days of Salt, and she read this resolution into the congressional record of New Jersey just this past week. So I would like this council to support the resolution urging Congress to restore the full deductibility of state and local taxes for the citizens of New Jersey.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
One second.
I want Mr.
It would
Klimek
be-
to just look at it.
Excuse me?
I want Mr. Klimek to
Well,
just-
yeah, well, this is, I don't know if you want discussion on it before roll call. This is, it speaks for itself. It states that this is a resolution of the, it's generated by the New Jersey State League of Municipalities. They generated this resolution? Is that
Yes.
correct?
Mhm.
Well, Councilman, you can review it yourself, make your decisions. It's up to you. It's self-explanatory what's sought here. Is there anything in here about the standard deduction being changed, if this is changed?
No, there is another resolution. This was also emailed to the council by the borough clerk last week as a New Jersey municipality update, so everybody should have received it in advance of this meeting.
The
But there-
council just received the update of all legislation, not this specifically.
No, it was
was-
included in that email. That's
Right,
where I
if you had
got
to go
this
through- yeah, but
information from.
I don't want it to be misinterpreted. They didn't receive this specifically, they received all the legislation updates and.
Right, there was, but this specifically is hurting our citizens, the fact that they're no longer able to take that deduction on their property taxes and their state and local taxes. It's had a negative impact on a lot of families, and this is an important provision, and it's been in place for 100 years, and we'd like to see it fully restored. So I'm making a motion that we support this legislation to get Congress to fully restore the deductibility of state and local taxes for the citizens of New Jersey.
Yeah, and I know almost no matter what we do, we're gonna have a good percent of tax bills in town that are above $10,000.
Right, and it's, I think it's a no-brainer to help make homeownership affordable in the state of New Jersey. This has had a huge impact on the ability of young families to prosper and to own homes. So I think it's beholden upon us to support this legislation.
Mayor, you have a first and you have a motion and a second. You can either adopt this, or you could have a motion to carry it to the next meeting if you want to take a chance to read it. It's really up to the council.
Who moved it?
Kathy moved it, and Councilman Bolton seconded.
And all we're saying is that we concur with this resolution. This isn't our resolution, this is like theirs.
It's their League of Municipalities that passed this resolution.
The Council of the Borough of Ringwood supports the resolution
Correct.
by the League of Municipalities.
That's correct.
Exactly.
All right, I can,
Every time you push one lever, something else comes and smacks you in the head on the other side. You know this, guys. You know this. But
all right, let's take a roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
O'Keefe?
Yes.
Spear?
yes.
Okay. I asked to be put as a discussion item, Airbnbs in the borough of Ringwood. It is getting more common. My son uses them. It could be a one night or 2 night, 1 week, 2 weeks. And my concern is that in Ringwood, there is no control as to who's in Airbnb. At Skyline Lakes this past year, we found out by accident that one of the homeowners was an Airbnb. And she was giving them her badges, and each weekend there'd be a different person using it. So there should be some sort of requirements or certifications or whatever to know who's an Airbnb. What you're talking about is you're talking about rentals. It's
Yes.
talking about a transient rental that could be for a very short period of stay. So you really don't know who they are. And so you don't know who's coming in and out of your local neighborhood. And my concern is, with the type of community we have, there should be, whether it's the buildings department, the health department, or somebody should be controlling this, or there should be some process where you apply to be able to become a Airbnb. And I know it affects the lake associations because we're not used to having a transient neighborhood, so.
Your lake associations, in all of their bylaws, they have a requirement that any guests have to be with the member. You can't just send, you can't give a badge. So they have, there's 2 issues. There's a lake issue because they need to enforce those rules. And there are a lot of communities that are starting to try and regulate Airbnbs, and I can get you some information and bring it to a meeting.
Yeah. West Milford registers them. There's a registration fee every year. I think same thing with Greenwood Lake, New York, and Warwick are trying to just you get a registry going on. It costs a fee. Then the borough could try to get what, $3 a night is the occupancy tax. We'd have to pass some kind of resolution or an ordinance that would allow us to collect that if that was of interest. I don't know. Or there's some towns, Clifton and Rutherford, New Jersey, have banned short-term rentals. And I don't even know how the Jersey City I don't know how they're,
that
they had a
played out.
ballot issue, right?
They did.
They had a big money ballot issue. There was a ton of money getting thrown at that
And,
thing. There was all kinds of television advertisements just talking about Airbnb or short-term rentals in the city of Jersey City.
I don't think Ringwood is the location to have an Airbnb, because I mean, in essence, you don't know who your neighbor is. We're basically the town of homeowners, okay? We do have some homes that rent, but it's a full-time rental. If you have Airbnbs, and it becomes more a fad for people to do, because they have a home in Florida, a home here, a home down the shore, a home here, and they do Airbnb in the house. I think it's a concern. So,
Ringwood traditionally, though, has been a summer rental community. A lot of people, prior to the 70s, used to come up and rent properties for the summertime. And in fact, calls still come in to see if there are any summer rentals available in this community, because a lot of people did visit it, and it's a great place to visit. I think that your concern is warranted. However, I think there is opportunity for that type of business in our town. We have a lot of seniors who could rent a room. Traditionally, it's one room and a bath. It's not the whole house that's being rented out. But if somebody wanted to get additional income and they had a room and a bath to rent, we have a lot of bike things come up here. There's also weddings at Skylands. There's no hotels. So it is a possibility, but I agree with you that it should be looked into. And if it is happening, if you go on Airbnb, you're going to find that there are Airbnb rentals in not only Skyland Lakes, but Erskine Lakes, Cupsall Lake, throughout our community. So it's just something that has been going under the radar. But to your credit, that it is something that the council should review, because we want to make sure it's done safely, it's done with respect, and that it's regulated.
I'll bring some information to you for you guys next year.
And I have to assume that the police department would like to know
Yeah.
just which homes, they might be responding to a call and it's not the homeowner, just to kind of know from a map perspective where.
And to make
where
sure
these
they're
are.
safe.
And we have to make sure that we're not renting out bedrooms and bathrooms, because those are tantamount to illegal apartments. We can't be doing that in local zoning, and so we have to really look into it. That's a big problem.
We got people unfamiliar with septics in our worst parking areas in town, right? It's like just,
And we should also definitely make sure that, in looking ahead, assuming that we pass something to regulate these, that we have language in there around, for lack of a better term, truth in advertising. So you can't say that you can use a lake if you can't. This is essentially a jumping off point for you to buy a day pass to the Highlands Pool, to go to Shepherd Lake, but, can't be promising to loan a renter your Skyline Lakes or Erskine Lake tax. That's not fair.
I'll bring some stuff for you guys to look at coming here. Okay.
all right, let's go around the table. Start you, Kevin.
Speaking of social media, since it's such a prominent topic this evening, I noticed that there was quite a discussion on Ringwood Reboot Voices. Some of the comments was, I'm disgusted by the amount of garbage behind the CVS strip of stores, in the woods, in the water behind there. Then I travel across the street to Stop and Shop and it's flying all around. Aren't there fines for that? How can this be controlled? It seems like it's getting worse. There were questions whether the business owners should be forced to take care of it, or if it was the people that were just responsible for throwing it out their windows. There was also comments such as, we should have pride in our neighborhood. This person said they felt like they were back in Patterson with the amount of garbage that's there. Somebody asked if it was a health hazard, if the Board of Health should be evaluating this. It was suggested it should be brought up at council meeting, but I didn't see anybody come forth in the public session to bring it up. So I wanted to bring it up because it is something we have discussed many times. I know, Scott, in July, you had suggested redoing the Clean Communities grant to somehow involve all the different.
But that's not going to affect private property.
It's not, but do we have something in place to monitor what's going on or to fine?
We are addressing the situation.
Okay, good. I was recently, had the opportunity to go to Tennessee, to the Smoky Mountains, and I was shocked that there is no litter anywhere around there, and there was a ton of tourists. So I brought you back some information on what they do down there. It seems their fine is $500 for littering, plus 40 hours or 6 months of picking up litter. And there's also a $250 reward for anyone who reports the litterer. So I wanted to bring that back. It seems they take littering very seriously down in Tennessee, and we have such a beautiful community. I think that we need to address this, and anything we can do as a council to help clean it up would be appreciated by our citizens. Thank you.
Well, also, when people put out their recycling, they don't put it out in a controlled manner. So I remember like several weeks ago, we had a very windy day.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was all over the place. The fact that people blow the leaves into the street, along with that, whatever garbage is along the side of the road, I mean, it's a couple of different things going on. Okay, it's both the citizens and, you know, to make sure that some of the businesses, their garbage containers are not full to the brim, so the stuff doesn't topple over and fall all over the place. Yeah, it needs to be monitored all over.
Yeah, I would think that we could find a way to control what's going on with the litter. We've also talked about working with North Jersey because of all the property they own, and also with the fences.
Actually, we talked about Passaic County, you said was going to come and pick up
Well,
garbage on their side, and
I said that North Jersey said that they would take care of the garbage on their side of the fence and that they would reach out to the freeholder, but I would hope that you would follow up with Tim Eustace and
I
find
spoke with
out.
Tim Eustace, he has a different slant on that conversation, but the county has miles and miles of roads, so hopefully they'll come up and clean
The
up
county
outside.
doesn't, we've discussed this too before, the county doesn't clean the garbage on the side of the roads. The people that own the property are responsible for cleaning up the garbage on their property. Just like any homeowner who has garbage in front of their home would go out and pick it up. So if it's state-owned land or if it's North Jersey Commission-owned land, the county owns the road, not the land on the side of the road. If they own the land on the side of the road, yes, they would be responsible, but there's a lot of state and North Jersey Water Commission land that's owned that needs to be addressed also.
I agree, the 50-foot right-of-way is the county right-of-way, and they did it for years, I just wish they would do it again, because we keep going out cleaning it up, we keep putting our residents in danger, we keep putting our DPW out there. They used to clean it up for years, and they don't do it. As a matter of fact, their DPW guy said to us one day, why in the world are you doing that? We won't do it. And it bothers me that we send our own people out there, and when they've done it for countless years. I did talk to Tim Eustace at length, and he will do the inside of his fences. But most of the garbage is along the county road, and quite frankly, they own some of the land as well. Like, they don't just own the right-of-way, there's spots that they own the land. Margaret King Avenue, tremendous amount of county land there, they don't clean that up either. So we're gonna continue to press all of them. I've called the county about it, I've called Tim about it, and we're gonna continue to do what we have to do. Relative to the shopping centers that you referred to, we saw the same.
Sharing what was on social media.
Yeah, we saw the same post that you saw, and we sent the appropriate authorities out to address some of those issues. But again, a lot of it is illegal dumping, a lot of it is, we have it ourselves in town, they'll put garbage bags on top of the dumpsters, and then the raccoons and the garbage get into it, and then They're the actual residents putting it, they've chained some of these dumpsters, they just put it on top. Now it's strewn all over the parking lot. We have it up here at the shopping center often. So there's a lot of problems, and it's not just the storefronts. As a matter of fact, there's often, if we find a garbage bag, we go in through the garbage bag and see if we can get an average address on it to issue summonses, because that garbage ends up everywhere. It ends up in your stormwater, it ends up in your lakes. And so we have been very active in doing that. It's unfortunate, it's been a very windy fall. There is a lot of garbage at the shopping centers in the back. It's also a lot of dumpsters there. I think the one shopping center has 15 dumpsters behind it. So we're working on that, and we will get them in compliance.
Good, thanks.
So speaking of roads, I don't know if it's technically public road or if it's the parking spot, but at Cupsaw Plaza, there's a doozy of a pothole, like it's deep, as you're coming around on the store side of it. So I don't know if it's actually in the road or if it's close enough that it would be a parking
Pothole by the
spot.
tree? They just patched the one by the tree.
It's before you get to the tree, so it's closer to the lake. But it was huge.
I think if you go by it tomorrow, you'll see that that's repaired.
The tree itself, they did a fantastic job decorating it this year. Like the lights
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
are like perfectly placed, like it was like a Rockefeller job, so.
And before I sum up, I do want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a happy and healthy New Year to everybody in Ringwood. And thank you to all of you who have served for so many years.
I had a neighbor ask about the end of Glen Road where it runs into Stetson Hillside, and whether or not there should be a stop sign for the traffic on Glen heading into that, because you've got the three roads that just kind of come in together, and apparently somebody almost got hit because nobody knows whose turn it is. So I thought I would do my due diligence and bring that up.
You should probably go slower first.
Listen, everybody, it's all hills, and
Most of the people through there are from that area, so it's they kind of work it out.
We get yelled at for painting yellow lines down streets. People say, what, we live in the city here? They don't want to see any signs, no, nothing. And then there's other points of view.
Skyline Drive yesterday was closed from like 9 to 3.
Yes, we've had so many accidents on the top of Skyline Drive. The chief has repeatedly asked the county to do something, because every time it rains, they come around that corner by the water tank, they slide across the street, take the guardrail out, and he asked them to put a temporary fix up there because something has to be done. It's accident after accident. As a matter of fact, while they're cleaning up accidents, they almost get hit by another car. So there's something that goes on with that surface. So I guess the temporary solution was they milled like a half an inch down. So if it's smooth, it's no longer smooth, while they're working at a more viable solution. It's really banked the wrong way. There's so many things wrong with that intersection, but that part of the road, I mean.
Right. And I don't know if to save all the nice things, because I'll feel a little weird, since we'll just see you guys in less
January,
than a
right?
month. But it has been an absolute pleasure working with you guys. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate it well, enjoy the season, and for the love of God, drive safely. I know everybody is stressed and in a big hurry, but take it slow. The DPW in town obviously does a fantastic job, but sometimes Mother Nature has other plans, so just go slow, even when you're rushing and stressed. Have a happy New Year.
Thank you, Jim. Nicole, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Heck, congratulations on another pretty solid year here running the borough. I think we had a successful year. Just want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, have a happy and healthy New Year. And Sean, Jimmy, Your Honor, it's been wonderful. Really appreciate everything you've done for me over the years. Gonna miss you up here. I missed you out on the campaign, for our sake. Yes, sir. It's not easy not campaigning with you. But that's all I have there, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Well, I don't know what to say, except that it's been a good run. I want to thank the people of Brentwood for keeping me here for 40 years.
Almost 40 years.
And what helped most was the fact that I worked for the county of Passaic for almost the same amount of time. And I started off Manpower Services, CETA Director, Deputy County Clerk, Deputy County Administrator. It's been incredible. So I'm almost sorry to leave here, but it's been fun and I enjoyed it. And I want to thank you folks for supporting me for all those years. I appreciate it. Thank you.
A few things. First off, I've said it many times, the volunteers in this town are second to none. You know, there's 12,400 something residents, and I'm convinced there's about 300 or 400 to do everything as far as volunteers, from the coaches to our emergency services to sitting up here. We're essentially volunteers. We give our time. All the other boards and commissions, and I just want to thank everybody that helps this town go. Especially want to congratulate Nicole again. And I want to thank everybody in this building who over the years has helped me get through these 8 years up here on the council. I also, I'll go back to the volunteers a second. I recently had to take a first aid course, CPR course, as part of my employ and getting qualified for something. And I want to thank the first aid, the ambulance corps. They did a phenomenal job. It happened to be Saturday. I couldn't have picked a better Saturday because they had their craft fair and soup kitchen going, or soup sale going. I ended up buying 4 soups, walking out with 4 containers, and everything was delicious. And it's those kind of events that the ambulance corps raises the money, and I want to point it out again and thank them. They bought their own ambulance to the tune of $250,000, $260,000 and equipped it. That is impressive. I had an opportunity that Saturday to stick my head in the ambulance, take a quick look at it and everything else. Then I had to go out on a couple of calls. But it is a very impressive effort that the volunteers in this town put in. As part of the CPR, they've demonstrated the new Lucas CPR device. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the town very wisely purchased this Lucas CPR thing. Machine. It straps around you, it keeps the compressions going. It gets the person, if they have to carry a person down a stairway, you can't give compressions where you're carrying the stairway and get them into the ambulance rig to get them to the hospital. You strap this machine on, you turn it on, it keeps the chest compressions going. It's a very impressive machine. And talking to my cousin who's on emergency services down at Fairlawn, he says they bought 2 of them, Ridgewood has 3 or 4 of them, Paramus has 3 or 4 of them. They're a great machine. I would like to see somebody take up, because we have more than 1 ambulance, we have 3 ambulances, so they can't equip each one of the ambulances with this machine. So if it happens to be on a call that might not be unrelated to it, I think it would be a wise thing for us to look forward and possibly buy at least a second one. But again, I want to thank the ambulance corps. They did a great course. Again, they gave up a good part of their Saturday to administer this course. It was about, I think, 8 or 10 of us there, and it was incredible. The people in this borough, the people I've sat on this dais with for 8 years, I understand why when I first took office here, how this is a very rewarding, very frustrating, very humbling experience to sit here. There's challenges that we've met, challenges that we faced and met and dealt with. And it's not easy. You have to take sometimes you have to step back and take a bit of an unbiased look at what the facts are here and make a fair assessment and make a fair judgment as to what this town needs. This is the greatest town in the state of New Jersey, bar none. And I grew up in West Milford, but I'm telling you, Ringwood, I've been here now 26 or 27 years now, and it's the greatest town. And I can't say enough how wonderful this town is. I'm also very honored to have the privilege of sitting on this dais with Walter Davidson, an absolute icon in New Jersey. Thank you, Walter. Thank you for the mentoring, answering my questions in the beginning, guiding me along a bit through the learning process. I very much appreciate it, and I'm proud to call you my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Lastly, the weather's turning. Like I always say, check on your neighbors. We're supposed to have some bitter cold weather coming over the next couple of days, you know? And again, some people, especially elderly, are a little too proud to call up and ask for help, but we don't need those people suffering. They gave to this community just as much as everybody else. And check on your neighbors. Good indication, I learned this in Boy Scouts, good indication that somebody may need some help is a day or so after the snowstorm and they still haven't been shoveled out. Okay? Call your neighbors, check on them, check beforehand. If power goes out, I mean, we had no power on Thanksgiving. I got a text message from my neighbors out of generator, come on over for coffee, you know? So, and people were shuffling around, who's gonna cook my turkey and stuff. It was a pretty interesting neighborhood, you know? So, but again, thank you everybody at this dais, who sat at this dais with over the last 8 years in this building. It's been a wonderful, humbling experience. It's bittersweet to see it go. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Be safe.
Thank you. This is my last meeting also. I'm finishing off 8 years. It's been a privilege and honor to serve on this council. John, Walt, Sean, great working with you. When I first came on, I was nervous as hell, and I was able to gain the confidence and knowledge to move on. So Scott, thank you for answering all my questions, and sometimes nagging, but helps make a better process. And you know, I've enjoyed the process. I've learned a lot, and the people that work in this building, from the payroll, accounting, borough clerk, tax department, health department, are fantastic, and the guys on DPW are really good. There's a lot of people who think this town thrives on volunteerism. Without volunteerism, half the things you see advertised that's being done in Ringwood wouldn't be happening. And I think Ringwood is a great place to live, and I'll miss being here, but I want to thank everybody and wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a safe and healthy holiday. Thank you.
Having no executive session, do you have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor Martucci?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Noonan?
Yes.
Councilmembers Bolton?
Yes.
Davison?
Yes.
Moretti? O'Keefe?
Yes.
And Spear.
Yes.
Thank you. Good night.
Ryan? Me and John stay here.